Here I'm flying the Cessna 172 G1000 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and manipulating the flight instruments doesn't really feel realistic. So I wanted some hardware which would mirror the instruments and make it close to real life as possible. So using the simulator would feel realistic. I came across FlightSimBuilder G1000 suite, which consists of two displays, a PFT and an MFT, and an audio panel. And it was available. It was on sale during Thanksgiving, and I got it at I think 1425 for the entire setup. I went ahead and ordered it, and then waited for it to arrive. Here is the box that the G1000 suite arrived in. Let's go ahead and take all the components out. So these are the cables, HDMI and 3 USB cables. This is the mount for the audio panel. This is the audio panel bubble wrap, and these are two power cables for the displays. The audio panel takes its power from the USB itself. That's why there are only two power modules. So this is the first screen. Looks nicely packed. And here's the second one. They are essentially the same unit. Both displays are exactly the same. You can use either as a primary flight display or a multifunction flight display when you connect them to your computer. And these are two heavy-duty metal stands. Okay, they feel very good, quite stable. Let's go ahead and open both of them. They will actually be facing me. So this is the front of the panels where both the G1000 screens will be mounted. Let's go ahead and open the screens from their boxes now. Let me get these stands out of the way for now. And wow, look at that. Looks pretty awesome. Very nicely packaged. Here's the first screen. Feels good. The buttons feel good. Feels like a well-made unit. Let's go ahead and open the second one. As I mentioned, they are exactly the same display, and you can use either display as the PFT or as the MFT. Let's go ahead and take this one out of its packaging as well. And this is how it's going to be mounted on the stand. You can see I'll need to figure out how to screw it in, or whatever mechanism is available to keep it in place. As you can see, the ports here, the displays use HDMI for visual, USB for the buttons, and they have dedicated power connectors. Here's the audio unit and the panel mount for it. Let's go ahead and assemble the units. The screen is held to the mount by 4 triangle-shaped plastic pieces that I will show later. And there are these small screws that you need to unscrew first. It's a bit of a pain, but once you get it done, it's okay. It's a one-time thing. So go ahead and open one. and then take this triangle thing. It has a small notch and the screw will actually slide in to the hole, and then use the nut to tighten it. These are very small parts, so it's a bit difficult, but one-time setup, that's fine. Let's go ahead and do the same on all the other ones. There we go. Both displays are securely mounted. Now it's time to mount the audio panel. Now I made a mistake here. The top and the bottom of the mount is actually not the same size. So make sure you check it against the display mounts to make sure they are aligned. I actually attached it upside down, so then I had to redo it, which I'm not going to show in the video, but just something to be careful of. Now the audio panel is held to its mount by these brackets that you need to screw into the audio panel itself with one screw, and then there are two screws on both sides to tighten it against the mount, and that's how the audio panel is kept in place and it doesn't slip out of the mount. I'll run the video at 4x speed now so you can see the mount happening very quickly. After securing the audio panel with both brackets against the mount, align them with the mounts for the two displays. Now you will see here when I align the holes on the audio panel mount and the display mount, you will see that the audio panel mount is sticking out at the bottom. So that's because I had installed it incorrectly and I had to change it. So make sure you make that check before you actually mount it. And there it is. After connecting the USB, HDMI and power cables, I have it all set up and ready to go for enjoyment of the flight sim.